Yes, this does have vodka in it. That is my home version of a Moscow Mule. I had to stop the recording because if you are to look at, hold on, wait, let me, this way, right here, in the last 10 minutes of my long video, you'll see my daughter, her reflection as she's dancing with the cat. She's like totally dancing. And then she gets on the chair and I can hear it knocking, and I was like, um, but sadly, what is true is what she's struggling with. I had to, I'm not very firm with the kids very often. That was kind of one of the issues my ex-boyfriend and I had, was because, I've spent so much time being a friend and a counselor and all this kind of stuff. I haven't had to be the mom and the disciplinarian. And so when I'm having to look at her and say, okay, we need to adjust your behavior because your behavior is not okay, she doesn't take it well. And with everything that she's been dealing with the death of her dad, she's just struggling, and she's taking a lot of it on, and suddenly a small issue becomes a huge issue. Suddenly, looking at her and saying, okay, your actions there were a little bit, selfish. Clearly you see something's going on, and you're just wanting to do your thing. You're not putting into any consideration what's going on or what's happening. And it blows into this huge, ginormous, I'm the worst person in the world. She gets in her head. And so I was like, are you understanding? Did you even watch the video? You kept saying, I just wanted to be out there to hear what you're saying. Did you hear what I was saying? Because what I was saying was, when there's conflict, you apologize for reconciliation, and then you move on. Right now, we're taking it from a small one issue to ginormous. Anyways, we're getting her into counseling. But so yes, all of that kind of stuff. Healthy conversations. Don't stonewall, don't block, don't ignore, don't avoid. Engage. Healthy reconciliation, healthy communication, learning from what you thought you know to what we should all know. All of that is really important, because in every relationship and friendship, that was one of the things I read in one of the books, was, every relationship has issues. Every relationship goes through arguments. It's how you handle them that is the most important. And the biggest thing you've got to do, and this is for everybody, is you've got to lay down your pride. You can't have pride in a relationship. You just can't. They see the best and the worst of you. And I know for me, because I so frequently have an issue with, mouth open, insert foot, those kind of things, that I know I have to be ready and completely willing to accept my issues, to accept responsibility, own what I've done, do what I can for reconciliation. Because yes, I am honest. Yes, I am blunt. Yes, I will look at you and say, yeah, no, don't fucking do that. What the hell are you thinking? Like, I'm gonna look at you and say that. But it doesn't mean I don't love you. And it doesn't mean that I don't care. And it doesn't mean that I am not trying to make you the best person that I know that you are. Because I can be honest, if I didn't believe in you, if I thought that you were a piece of shit, I would have walked away. I that's why I struggle the way that I am, because I know the goodness. I know the goodness in my ex-boyfriend. I have questions. I don't understand. There are so many whys, but that is why I continue to fight for that. And same thing, I continue to fight for people who are important. Same reason why I continue to talk about these things, because I'm like, I know that you are good. I know that there is so much potential. And but it's just laying down that pride. And one of the things that I was thinking about as I was, preparing my notes, because this is a whole new experience for me. I was thinking through one of the last issues my ex-boyfriend and I had before he left. We had gone to get lunch, and we walked down the street, and by lunch I mean I ate, he drank, and he was, I think, day 4 of a pretty big bender. You know, he'd been going through hell. He had lost his best friend, struggled with that every day, and you could see it. Even with the new best friend, which obviously brought conflict of itself. You've suddenly got this beautiful, fun, young, loving dog, and you're constantly reminded that this is replacing what you've lost. It's hard. And so I knew he was struggling. I knew he was hurting. And we had gone to lunch, and we were talking about future plans, and, moving, and what that looked like, and everything. And once we were done with lunch, we separated. The restaurant had a McDonald's and a gas station. And he was like, I need to go to the gas station. I was like, okay, that's fine. I'm going to go to McDonald's, get stuff for the kids. I'll meet you out front. And I wait out front. I grab everything. It was taking a little bit longer. So I was like, constantly like, okay, he's not out there. And then I started worrying. I was like, why isn't he out there? How long does it take to get cigarettes? So then I started getting worried. And once I got the food, I go outside and I don't see him. Oh, hi, Orlando. So I don't see him. I'm panicking. I don't know what's going on. I'm walking around both buildings in case you know how that happens. One goes the other one way. And I can't find him. And so I'm like, okay, something's going on. I'm worried. And I call the house, and I was like, hey, is he there? And my son looks at the door. He's like, yeah, he's talking to the neighbor. I'm like, okay, that's fine. That's fine. All right, let's do this. So I walk home, and I have to walk by him talking to the neighbor. And I am like, I'm walking. I'm not gonna eyes forward. I'm not even gonna acknowledge him. I get to the door, which is so funny, because you're thinking. I think my life in terms of oh my God, if people are watching me, because that's kind of the way I live my life is watch me while I do stuff. I go to open the door, and it's locked, and I'm just like, damn it, there goes my ability to make a big entrance and blah. And the one thing, so I finally get the door open. I get inside, and I was like, I'm not going to lock it, because that would be immature. 2 wrongs do not make a right. I wanted to emphasize that. 2 wrongs do not make a right. So I get the kids their food. I'm waiting. He's taking his good old time talking to the neighbor, but that's more the neighbor's fault than his. And he walks in, and he knows. I mean, I'm not subtle. You see it on my face. I mean, look at me now versus look at me a month ago. I look like death warmed over a month ago. This I've at least, thankful for cover up. But so he knew, and he was like, hey, and I said, you want to explain what happened? Exactly like that, because I was trying to figure out the right line to say, and I was like, I just gotta let him explain. So I said, do you want to explain what happened? And he explained it. And I could tell on his face, I knew on his face that he knew, oh, fuck, what did I do? And at that point, I had 2 choices. I had the choice of going, put my pride down. I could have started in on this and that and blah, 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 and just blown the whole situation up. Or I just could have been like, that's not going to help. 2 wrongs do not make a right. And so I said, okay. All right, I get it. And he apologized. He said, I should have thought that through. Yes, in the future, poke your head in, say, hey, I'm just going to go ahead and walk home. Anything would have been better than just leaving me like freaking the fuck out. And yeah. And I could tell he was worried because, conflict is not a great area that I'm good at. So I needed to make the extra steps. So it's like, thank you. We're all good. I'm not upset. I kissed him and he ran to the store. Healthy. Conflict. Apology. Resolution. Reconciliation. All healthy. And that is the biggest thing. I could have, yes, I had and have had dozens and dozens of things that I could have said. Did I need to? No. Would that have been the time? No. Because two wrongs do not make a right. And I'm trying to make rights here. I'm trying to raise kids to see right from wrong. So when your pride says, I need to be treated a certain way, I need to be made to feel like, oh, well, you shouldn't have done that or anything like that. God, lay your pride down, because two wrongs do not make a right. And blame shifting and stonewalling and blocking and ignoring and all of that unhealthy shit is unhealthy. And all we are doing is teaching super awful habits. And no, I don't believe everyone's toxic. No, I don't believe everyone has mental health issues. They're not, the list goes on. None of that is what you find on a regular basis. I think we have poor learned behavior. And until someone looks at you and says, you did that wrong, you missed an opportunity, nobody's ever going to learn. And things are never going to get better. So, yeah, that's me. That's hopefully I figure out how to get this on here, and I don't look at my like glaze and chubby cheeks and weird hands, and it's all so different. But yeah, this is what I've been looking forward to. So I hope I reach one person. Hopefully my kid, because she needs it, but maybe someone who sees this along the way. In 10 years, let's hope my skin looks good in 10 years. All right, happy Friday, guys.